Welcome. What's up, everybody? Monday morning, your choice.com daily hit and run show. Pete Cole here, running solo. Welcome anybody watching live. Welcome your comments here. Please hit the thumbs up button, whatever you want to call it. Subscribe to us, yourchoice.com. $25 a month. That includes all sports, including props. There'll be a prop show tonight. PrizePicks daily happy hour, I believe 5:30 tonight. I'll be on with Mark. Mark YFC Tart, who does our props board, who's been doing very well, especially with the strikeouts. But what's up? Good day yesterday, MLB. I mean, bad day for DFS, but it was a pretty cool slate that went on. Wilmer Flores went double donged. Carlos Santana double donged, right? Red Sox, another come from behind, walk off against the Yankees. They're showing some life that they're not out of it yet. What else? We got Austin Riley, good day. The Orioles won their 8th straight. They're actually in the playoff hunt. They're like 2 games back from the wild card, which is crazy. But so they actually maybe a fun fall. Robinson Cano's back. The Braves picked them up, maybe thinking that they could be another reclamation project from like last year with Duvall and Jock, and who else they picked up last year? Eddie Rosario in the summertime. So I guess I think they could do that with Cano, who's actually was hitting pretty well in Las Vegas for the Padres. And what else? Any injury? Yes, Yordan Alvarez is on the IL now, so he'll be back after the All-Star game for the Yankee series. So that was pretty much yesterday. Today we got Coors slate, which I hate. It's I think we have a 3, 6, 8 gamer. 8 gamer starts at 7:10, not the normal 7:05, but it is a Coors slate. So we're gonna do today, go through all the pitching, go through the hitting. We'll be out of here probably fairly quickly. Anybody that's watching live though, I welcome your comments. Like I said, tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm right. Give me some suggestions, whatever you want. That's great. It helps the show go along a little bit better. But yeah, yesterday was tough. Yesterday was Sundays are always tough for DFS, right? And then Saturday, good GVP day. Chalk has not been hitting bad cash last couple of days, and I don't see it improving really this week with Colorado, with the Padres in Colorado. So we're gonna see all these cash lineups filled with Padres, and I saw Eric Hosmer was like 2.1 on DK. So this to me is GVP slate unless something breaks during the day. So let's start it out. There's no weather. I don't see any weather really to worry about. Just some heat, really. Cleveland, Progressive Field, it's going to be hot. Wind is blowing out in Progressive Field. That's Lance Lynn versus Quantrill. In Busch Stadium, 95 degrees. That's an Aaron Nola game. And then we have 90 degrees in Kauffman Stadium. Tigers at Royals. Alex Fiedo and Daniel Lynch, pretty much 2 gas cans. So no major weather. You always had that weather concerns in Atlanta. And that's a Scherzer game though. There's like 15% chance of rain. You never know what's going to happen there though with the heat. But there's no major issue, so all 8 games should go off pretty well, and no major wind. Besides, there is some wind blowing in actually in Kauffman Stadium, Tigers Royals, which actually may help Alex Fiedo and Daniel Lynch. Maybe they can pitch a normal game. And that's it. And I said some wind blowing out in Progressive. So no major weather issues. Looking at Vegas, implied rides is all about the Padres. 6.7, that's high. We don't usually see that unless it's the Dodgers and Coors, but 6.7 implied runs is a lot. And then you got the Rockies, 5.6 runs implied after that. And the only other teams at 5 are the Royals, which we just talked about, but we have some wind blowing in. And then the Texas Rangers at 5 runs going up against Oakland. And that game may go right under the radar. And it seems like the Texas is always going on the radar. And they've actually been hitting the ball a bit more. So pay attention to that game a little bit. The Texas game and Oakland. That's 8:05 start. And that's Adrian Martinez or Spencer Howard. Spencer Howard making a second start again after being called up from the minors. Former Phillies prospect. Now with the Rangers. Got traded for my man Kyle Gibson, I think it was. On the money line, the biggest favorite of the night is going to be, and now that's not even some reason that's not okay. Rangers minus 181. So the Rangers are the biggest favorite of the night. Spencer Howard. Wow. And then you got the Marlins are on the slate. Giants minus 164. The Diamondbacks, Alex Cobb game. Yeah, I like both pitchers kind of for GPPs. Everybody knows I like Merrill Kelly. Padres minus 151 in Coors, and then the Royals minus 148 Daniel Lynch and the Detroit Tiger game. So some strange money lines here, or just some strange starting pitchers, I guess, for these guys. But the Rangers are the biggest favorite of the night, minus 181. They open up at minus 165. That's Vegas pitching. So what we got is three like studs pitching tonight. We got Max Scherzer going. We got Aaron Nola, Max Fried. Right now, early projected ownership is out, and Nola and Scherzer both around 40%. Can we double barrel it today? I haven't tried it. I may try that because pitching is a little bit lacking. So if we can get both those guys, Scherzer and Nola, I'm probably going to roll with it. But when you got guys like Eric Hosmer and Coors at 2-1, maybe we can do this. So let's look at Scherzer first. Scherzer, well, I'm thinking when it's all said and done, I think Nola's going to be the highest owned. Because here, Scherzer is in a matchup against the Braves. Braves are tough. We know we've seen the Braves. They weren't great yesterday, but the Braves have really been smoking the ball. Only to strike out 23% against righties, but a 12.8% swing and strike rate, which actually is one of the highest on the slate, beside the Tigers and the White Sox. But we know Max, he's going to give up some home runs. He's going to give up some runs. We know that, but he's also going to get his strikeouts. We should still see the 8 or 9 strikeouts from Max Scherzer. So especially in GDPs, I would rather go Max over Aaron Nola. Nola's probably going to be, like I said, at the end of the day, he's probably going to be the favorite, the popular play. He does have the better matchup. He's coming off not the greatest game. His last game, I know, if I remember, he did not have a lot of strikeouts, right? The last game against the Nationals, he only struck out 3. He took the loss through 97 pitches, 7 innings. But he's still right now striking out, let me see, 8.4 per 9 over his last 5, 24% strike rate, which is not the greatest. So when you go and compare it to Max, now Max has only been back 1 game, and he didn't need much in that Cincinnati game. He only went 79 pitches. So is he fully stretched out? Not sure. So he's looking at a 31% K rate over his last 5 starts. Nola, 2.01 ERA, 0.92 whip, thrown at least 7 innings, 6 straight starts. And it's a tough one. Scherzer came back, gets a red, struck out 11 and 6. Nola, who's coming off a small strikeout game in Cincinnati. It is riskier probably with Scherzer because Nola gets St. Louis. Right now, St. Louis is not hitting at all. They finally broke out a little bit toward the end of the game yesterday, but they did not score runs all weekend. Edmonds not hitting. Donovan's not hitting. None of these guys are hitting. Of course, they're going to wake up here eventually, but I think Nola does have the better matchup. He's Scherzer against Atlanta, but once again, I can't never count out Max Scherzer. When it's all said and done, he'll probably be my top cash play. Or I just play both of them, I guess. Like I said, in cash, because I think there's going to be enough value we could do that, even though it's a core slate. Remember, it used to be on DraftKings or even FanDuel on these core slates when all these cores guys were all ultra expensive. Now it's like they price these guys down when they go to cores. Strange. Then your third guy is Max Fried. Fried's going up against the Mets. The Mets do not strike out much, but they do strike out more against lefties and righties. And he's been reliable, man. He's a ground ball pitcher. 3.23 Sierra. His hard hit rate is only 20%, best on the slate. And he's striking out almost 9 per 9 innings. And Max Fried is going to be the one, 25% K rate over his last 5. Max Fried is going to be the one that's going to fly under the radar over these 3 studs. So great GBP play. Nola Scherzer are going to get all the love and cash. Fried going to slide right in there against the Mets. Mets are a good team this year, but Fried's going to be a decent GBP play. He's flying in right now. I'm seeing him at like 28%. Now, who else we got left? It's kind of a pretty good cutoff here. You got Alex Cobb going up against Arizona. I'm a Cobb guy. I'm also a Merrill Kelly guy. But so we don't have too many games. So we don't have too many pitching options once we get past Fried, Scherzer, and Nola. But Cobb's a good GPP play. He doesn't strike guys out like he used to, but 60% ground ball rate. That's classical Alex Cobb. 60% ground ball rate. So his K rate right now is only 19%. But when you got 60% ground ball rate, you're going to win games. Now the Diamondbacks striking out what, 22% against righties, I think, 23% against righties. So it's middle of the board. So Cobb's a GPP play, but on the other side of the board there, I could go right back to my man Merrill Kelly. Now, yes, the Giants went off yesterday, but Merrill Kelly, I think, is the best out of all these guys in the middle. 3.34 FIP. I mean, ERA is 3.42. Can't beat that. 45% ground ball rate. Great. 5.9% home run fly ball rate. Great. He's got a quality start. 3 of his last 4. So Merrill Kelly does not get much love, but I think he's a good spot tonight. I have no problem using Merrill Kelly as my SP2 if you don't want to double pay up for Noah Scherzer. Merrill Kelly's last game was against the same Giant team. He went 6 1/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 20 DK points. He has over 20 DK in 3 of his past 4. So he's 7-5 on the season. So he's not going to strike batters out like Noah and Scherzer. But the Giants had been struggling, even though they went off yesterday. But we see Giants striking out 23% against righties, 12.4 swing and strike rate. Middle of the road, 304 WOBA, which is not great. So I like Merrill Kelly. I like that matchup. I like Cobb and Kelly. I could run some GVPs with Kelly and Cobb. I think tonight you're going to need one of the big K guys, a Scherzer or a Noah. I would say at your lineup at all times. But you can run some GVPs like Scherzer and Cobb, Scherzer, Kelly, things like that. Beside that, though, there's not much else pitching. I probably will not go below Cobb. There's one other guy I'm interested in, that's Brian Bello. He got bombed his first major league start against the Rays, when he went 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, only 2 Ks. But the kid is a strikeout pitcher. Struck out 114 in 85 innings in AAA. He gets the same Rays team again. And this Rays team will strike out 25% against righties. Actually, one of the worst on the slate. 24, and then a 12.7 swing and strike rate, 27.3 with swing percentage. Rays, I could see Brian Bello he's a good pitcher. He's a big prospect. I could see him turning around from that last start. I could see Bello having a good game. And he's not going to break the bank. I think he's only 5K on DK. 5K? 5K. So I could use Bello in some GPPs. Spencer Howard, I just can't deal with him. Jose Arenas starting again. And that's Jose Arenas starting in Coors. Sean Manea's on the slate, but it's Coors. Manea could be a sneaky play, I guess. GPP only. I don't mess with Cal Quantrill. I know some people do. And the other guy kind of with any kind of notoriety is Lance Lynn, who just has not been the same since he came off the IL. He's stretched out now, but he has just been terrible. Eventually, he's going to have a good game. Because Lance Lynn's a major league pitcher. He's had good starts. He's had a good career. Maybe he's trying to get progressive field. I think we said the wind's blowing out in that game, right? Wind's blowing out, though, like 15 miles an hour. But Lance Lynn is your wild card at 8-2. Too expensive, but I would have him some GPPs, some multi-entering, because we know he's got strikeout stuff. We know he's got the ability. And it's Cleveland, they don't strike out much. They're only striking out like 16% against righties. Wow. That can't be right. Now I have 23%. But the Guardians don't strike out much. So Lynn is your wild card. What's up, Nelson? Nelson, a nice big win there, nicely, huh? Good job. It was a Friday night, I think it was. So congratulations, Nelson. I saw your lineup too. I liked it. All right, so that's pitching. So pretty much, I think you're going to go Noah Scherzer, double bang it, Freed as your GPP pivot, or go Noah / Scherzer with Alex Cobb or Merrill Kelly. Yeah, I wish I could retire now. Nut. And I don't think we're going to do it this week with this weird core slate with the Padres. All right, so that's pitching. If you guys don't have any questions, let's go around bases. We don't spend much time on catching, but let's hit it right now. Catching Christian Vasquez, man, he's been hitting well, huh? Had a good game yesterday. He's in like second or third against the Yankees. Really good game. Catching, it's going to be either Austin Nola in Coors, he's only 3K, or you got MJ Melendez against Alex Fado. I'm seeing the Royals may be a popular play tonight as a stack. They get off Coors. MJ Melendez is only 4-3. But when you get Noah at 3K, Noah's probably the way to go. I got JT Realmuto against McCollis. Serby Zavella's been hitting pretty good. Christian Vasquez all the way up to 4-6 now. Any BBP data we have for catcher tonight? Travis Denard does not hit Max Scherzer, so no BVP data for catchers. You're probably going to roll a guy like Austin Noah. Said, I'm not spending much time here in catcher unless you find somebody, cheap, and maybe like a Serby Zavella against Quantrill. Zavella's got 397 WOBA, 367 batting average against righties this year on that reverse split. Not bad. There's really no other catchers. So Melendez is going to be popular lefty right against Seattle. When that, with the wind blowing out there, I could dig that. Maybe some Sean Murphy, Spencer Howard, Jose Alfaro if he gets a start. But I'm seeing it may be. So it's either going to be Alfaro. Alfaro's a righty. Alfaro or Nola. So maybe I would rather see Alfaro than Noah. So Joey Bart is only 2K against Merrill Kelly. If you don't like Kelly, but it's gonna be the Padre catcher. It's gonna be popular or MJ Melendez. All right, let's get off catcher. I hate catcher. Now we go to first base. So the popular play at first base is I'm seeing Eric Hosmer at $2,100 first base, or you got Luke Voigt at 3.6. Both those guys in Coors. Okay, we know Hosmer hasn't been hitting, but he's 2.6, 250 over the last month. It's not like he's terrible hitting. He hasn't hit a home run in seemed like quite a while, like June 23rd, I think it was. So Hosmer and Hoyt are going to be your popular plays at first base. Hosmer's going to probably be the popular play. I'm seeing Voigt actually is the popular play right now. Voigt's carrying a lot of the ownership. Wilmer Flores, big game yesterday, but now I guess Merrill Kelly, so I probably won't play him. We got Brandon Belt. Belt got hurt the other day. He didn't play yesterday, so we don't know what's going on with Belt yet. Looking at advanced metrics, Derek Hall he's really crushing the ball, and only $3,300 because McCollis 366 ISO 399 WOBA. His splits are really up there. Isaac Paredes, I think, is a good spot. He's either first base or second base eligible. He's going against a Kid Bello. A good spot for him. Christian Walker's been walked up to 4,100 now, so I probably will pass on that. Olsen is GBP only against Scherzer, but he could definitely hit home run against Scherzer, especially in that lefty-righty matchup, definitely. But GBP only. We don't have any BBP really. I mean, well, Hosmer is 5 for 9 lifetime the home run against Jose Urena. So, I mean, that's not much for BBP, but 5 for 9 is 556 batting average. Spencer Torkelson in his short career is 3 for 5 off of Brad Keller. But wait, but Brad Keller's not even pitching well. I don't know why Brad Keller's popping up here. It's supposed to be Daniel Lynch, correct? So it's going to be one of the Padres. I would probably lean to Hosmer. Got the BVP, 2.1K. He does have a hit in 5 of his last 6. I see, and 2 of them multi-hit efforts. Hosmer's the play, obviously. Just roll Hosmer. Hate to do it, but and then if not, I like Derek Hall. Hall going against righties right now. He is batting 286 in his 11 games in MLB. 24.1% barrel rate. He's bombing AAA, 20 home runs. So good spot against Miles McCollum. I like Derek Hall as a GPP play. All right, so it's Eric Hosmer is our first baseman. Second base. Second base, if you want to look at ownership, who is going to be the highest owned second baseman right now? It's going to be Jake Cronenworth. Cronenworth is only 4-1 on DK. This is crazy. You can make a lot of, obviously, of all Padres here, it looks like. BVP data. There's not much to look at. Jeff McNeil does hit max free, though, 8 for 22. So that's a little bit. Advanced metric wise, looking at second base, so I'm gonna be Cronenworth. I'll have Isaac Preddy's in some matchups against the Kid Bello. Preddy's got 284 ISO against righties this year. Not bad on the reverse. Brendan Rodgers get the righty lefty matchup against Sean Manaea. And Rodgers didn't come through for me yesterday, even though I had a decent later GVP team. Rodgers didn't come through, but 404 Woba, 330 batting average against lefties this year for Brandon Rodgers. And he is 4-5, so he's cheaper than Jake Cronenworth. I mean, more expensive than Jake Cronenworth. This is not making much sense here today. Rodgers hitting 180 over the last week, 250 over the last month. Cronenworth is your play against Urena, even though Cronenworth isn't a slump. Now he was really, really hot there for a few weeks. Now he's only hitting 140 over the last month, 184 over the last 20 games. So maybe Jake Cronenworth is a way to get a little bit different and sit Cronenworth in your games today and go somewhere else a second. Remember, they always talk about the first game at Coors 2. But it's tough when Jose Urena is a pitcher. But I do not like Jake Cronenworth in this spot, really. Even though it's Coors. But then there's not much here. Maybe Andres Jimenez against Lance Lynn. Jimenez having a good season. 207 ISO, 371 WOBA, but pretty elite 302 batting average against righties. And it's Lance Lynn. So I do like Jimenez. Semien, Marcus Semien's hot. These Rangers are all hitting. Semien and Corey Seager. They could be a little bit different. He's hitting 320 over the last week, 2 homers, 6 RBIs for Semien. So Cronenworth's going to be the popular play. But I could deal with like a Marcus Semien. Trevor Story had a good game last night. I gave him a story with Merrifield. He got hurt. We're not sure about what's going on with Merrifield yet. MRI he had yesterday. But I saw they called up the kid second baseman. Can't remember his name, so that may mean bad news for Merrifield, but nothing's out yet. And it's thundering like crazy here in Tampa. So Cronenworth's the popular play. Maybe be different and go like a Marcus Semien or a Trevor Story, same price as Cronenworth, pretty much, or Brendan Rodgers. Okay, Del Marte against Cobb. I just respect Cobb too much to be batting against him. Maybe a little Jonathan Scope against Daniel Lynch. He might go down low. Scope's hitting 410 this week. So Scope could be a sneaky little value play. Flores swinging a hot bat, and he's second base eligible, so you can also look at Flores at 3-1. I like Jonathan Scope as a value play, actually, the more I'm looking at it. I really do against Daniel Lynch. Righty-lefty matchup. Scope does crush lefties. His head hitting 410 over the last week, 276 over his last 20 games with 4 steals. Not bad. So Scope, maybe a little Wilmer Flores. Even the Flores hitting ready is much better this year. Or you're going to go up to a guy like, I said, Semien Story or the popular Jake Cronenworth. Third base. Well, I wonder who's going to be popular here in Coors. Manny Machado. Machado's going to be very, very high owned. So here's where you zig and they're all zagging. Machado is only 4.9 in Coors. Everybody's playing Machado. Maybe jump on a J-Ram bandwagon against Lance Lynn. Could be. I said Lynn was horrible in his rehab starts. But people still don't like to play him as Lance Lynn against them. So Ramirez, great spots. Everybody's on Manny Machado today. Even though Machado is in an elite spot, you got to play Machado probably in cash against Jose Urena in Coors. But I like the J-Ram pivot, definitely GVPs. Ryan McMahon's only 3.7 against Manaea. So Manaea is a good pitcher, respectable. Ryan McMahon is not exactly hitting like he was last year. He had a decent game. I think it was Tuesday. I think it was a decent game. He was like 3 for 4, but he's not hitting like last year. But Machado Macho is your play, definitely. Even though I think Jose Ramirez is probably in just as good of a spot. Going as he keeps popping, going back to second base. I really like Marcus Semien tonight against Adrian Martinez. Especially if you're on FanDuel, I think you play Marcus Semien. He's bombing in July. I'm playing Marcus Semien at second, and I'm messing with Cronenworth. All right, so back to third. Advanced metric wise, J Rams there, Escobar, Austin Riley against Scherzer. Or Riley could definitely lose one against Scherzer. Maybe Josh Rojas against Cobb, lefty righty matchup. Not a bad spot. 303 batting average this year for Rojas against righties. So I could dig that. Look at this BVP for J-Ram. 6 for 17 lifetime against Lance Lynn. Yohan Moncada actually hit somebody. He's 4 for 13 against Cal Quantrill. Moncada was clean, let off yesterday with Timmy A out. So it's going to be hard to get off Machado or Ramirez, definitely. But if you want to be different, Matt Bierling is now third base eligible for the Phillies. But David Villar, he's only 2-2 against Merrill Kelly. David Villar is not a bad little value play, little dart. Heimer Candelario, he just hasn't hit, and he's down a minimum price. And same with Moncada. Moncada is just terrible. He's hitting 250 the last month, but still, that's not good for the 5-tool phenom he's supposed to be 5 years ago. All right, so you're playing J-Ram or you're playing Machado for cash, playing J-Ram to be different, and then to be really different, Austin Riley, who could definitely hit a home run off Scherzer and then strike out 3 times. Austin Riley has GVP play, little Josh Rojas. I didn't mention Yanni Diaz. I guess he's probably in a decent spot. And that's pretty much it for third. I'm seeing if anybody's like really hot at third base over the last week. Get that Nolan Jones kid. He's minimum price still, I guess, right? So I mentioned Yanni Diaz. Just Machado and J-Man. Shortstop. CJ Abrams is probably going to be popular. I'm assuming he's like probably minimum price. Well, I don't see him catching much ownership. Corey Seager against a righty. Great spot. So I'll probably end up playing Semien and Seager tonight to get away from all this core stuff in a lot of spots. Bobby Witt Jr., definitely a good spot. Garrett Hampson's only minimum price 2-2 against Manea. So then you got CJ Abrams at 2-1. I'm curious to see what CJ Abrams is going to end up ownership wise. Man, going back to Josh Rojas is having a really good July. 438, 545, 862 slash with Josh Rojas. Not bad. All right, back to shortstop. CJ Abrams. He's going to be cheap. Ha-Sung Kim is sat out yesterday with a thumb. He's day-to-day, so it makes the Abrams play again here today. And he had a team. Abrams and 2 for 3 in double yesterday. And Abrams is a big-time prospect. Big-time prospect. You can play a CJ Abrams and a Hosmer today, and then you can double bang up with Scherzer and Nola if Abrams plays. Even Ha-Sung Kim, if he plays, is only 3-1. So, I would definitely play Abrams as a punt play over some of these other plays. Just known his pedigree, he has had a great start to his major league player. What do you anybody else? Javi Baez, good spot. I guess he's a good spot. You got Edmund, who just isn't hitting anymore. I don't know. I guess CJ Abrams is the play. Yeah. All these other plays are going to be, you can catch all these other guys really low owned. Like Bobby Witt, Tim Anderson, I think is going to be pretty low owned. And maybe Garrett Hampson. So I'm looking at Corey Seager a lot or CJ Abrams. That's what I'm looking for. I love this Semien Seager matchup today. Brandon Crawford is only 2-3 still. And he's actually been hitting the ball better. I can't remember what he did yesterday. I think, he didn't get it. He was one of the guys that didn't get a hit. He didn't play yesterday. Actually, no, he didn't. He hasn't played Brandon Crawford. Now he hasn't played since Friday. Now I think he got hurt, right? He's really cheap Friday. I think I played him Friday, and then he pulled something Friday night. So yeah, so we're not even sure Brandon Crawford's in the lineup. All right, so Seekers, my top play at shortstop. If not, C.J. Abrams, Ha-Seong Kim, and Garrett Hampson, I guess. It might be different. Only 2-2 against Manea. And then Dansby could lose one against Scherzer. I do not like the slate tonight. All right, outfield. This may be where we can get a little bit different. What's up, Sean V? I'm just trying to get away from all this Coors. Trent Grisham's going to be the top play. He's only 2-9 in Coors against Jose Arena. Nomar Mazara, 2K in Coors against Arena. Garrett Hampson, 2-2. This is crazy. I just can't see you really playing much cash tonight. So Andrew Benintendi is really hitting the ball at 4-1. You can start playing Benny any day against righties. Benny's going to be popular. Grisham's going to be popular. Chris Bryant's going to be popular in Coors, though. So he's one guy you got to pay up a little bit because against Manea. He had a double, I think, yesterday. He didn't come through for me how I wanted to yesterday, but he did hit a double. So they're going to be your popular plays. Trent Grisham, Nomar Mazara if they play. Maybe be different, and maybe like Connor Joe, who won't be as popular as those guys. I said Bryant and probably be a little bit less popular, but I think to be different, we just get off course in the outfield. Maybe Chris Bryant. Bryant actually left yesterday's game, if I remember right. I think he had cramping. So if he's playing, I think he's the one play you probably want for the Rockies. I mean, he's been really hitting since he came back off the IL. And he also against Manea, he's 3 for 4 with 2 home runs against Sean Manea. One play I like at outfield tonight is JD Martinez. JD is way too cheap tonight at 4-1 against the lefty. He hit Josh Fleming. So I like JD Martinez a lot. I like Adolis Garcia. I like Benintendi. Eloy was only 3.8. And he's not bad since he came back. He's 4 for 16. I'd rather play Eloy Jimenez at 3.8 than Nomar Mazara at 2K in Coors. I wish Jose Arena wasn't starting. So I like those guys in the outfield. Franmil didn't do anything yesterday, but I think Franmil's in a good spot, mashing against Lance Lynn. We can't forget about Hill Ramirez, who's crushing the ball. Even though it's against Bello, I kind of like Bello and GPPs, but Ramirez is crushing. 6 multi-hit in his last 9 games. 7 runs, 7 ribbies, 6 doubles, a home run. Now when Wander out, Harold's going to keep playing. So I think he's in a great spot. Schwarber against Michaelis. Kyle Schwarber smash spot, but Schwarber's now 6-1. Schwarber's probably your top pay up. So if you could get if I could get like a Kyle Schwarber and then a Chris Bryant if he plays, you're gonna be able to get 2 or 3 discount price outfielders now with Mazara or Grisham, or then go back to the Abramses or the Hosmers. You can get Kyle Schwarber in your lineup, but I think Kyle Schwarber is in a smash spot against Michaelis. 10 homers, 20 ribbies, last 20 games. Because a lot of these guys, they got Ozuna against Scherzer, Harris against Scherzer. Some of these guys usually like. I like Adolis Garcia, definitely. Grichuk is only 3A against Patana. Gavin Sheets is really hitting, and he gets some lefty-righty matchups. And Gavin Sheets is gonna be very low owned at $2,800. I'd probably rather go with Gavin Sheets than Nomar Mazara. Gavin Sheets hitting 400 this week, 2 homers, 5 ribbies. So you got to make a decision tonight, Coors or not, I guess. If you're going to go Coors, you're going to go all Coors. And you could do it even double spend up. I said Abrams, Mazara, Grisham, this is crazy. If not, what we're going to do is we're going to get off Coors and we're going to stack other teams. Well, everybody's on Coors. And what teams do we stack then? Beside Padres and Rockies, I like the Red Sox against Josh Fleming. Boston has really been hitting lefties. And we get JD at 4-1. Great discount. So they're one of my favorite stacks. I like the Rangers. I'm going to load up on Seager, Marcus Semien, Nate Lowe. Another one, I put it in the Discords. Nate Lowe is, people don't realize how well Nate Lowe has been hitting for the Rangers. Really, really flying under the radar this year. And he gets the lefty-righty matchup. So hitting 280 over the last month. So we like the Rangers, like the Red Sox. Who else? Give me another team I like here to be different, to get off cores. And then you can still fill it in with some of these cores, some of these cheap cores, one-offs. But we know what happens a lot in those first cores games, right? It'll be a 2-1 game. And I like the White Sox, and I like that Cleveland White Sox game. So let me go back to some Cleveland Guardians again against Lance Lynn. Fran Mill, J. Ram, guys like that. The Quan Kid. So I think I like the Guardians. I'm just going to keep saying Indians because I don't believe in that Guardians name. So the Guardians. But Texas is my favorite stack. So we're looking at Texas, Boston, Cleveland, the game stack Cleveland White Sox. And then you're going to fill it in with cores. If you're going to go cores, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to game stack cores. You could probably game stack cores the way how cheap these guys are. You could probably get a game stack with Machado, Chris Bryant, because the other guys are so darn cheap. I'm not sure what CJ Cron's status is, because he's been sitting there for a couple of days. I want to find that out too. Sean saying he thinks of Giant Shell Kelly. Kelly had a good game as a Giants, though. You can't be picking on my guy, Miro Kelly, but of course he could get bombed. He did pitch good against him last game. And I agree. I can't say Guardians. I refuse to. But you're probably right. I mean, the Giants had been hitting. They had a great game yesterday. They saw Kelly just a couple of days ago, and Kelly's been known to be a gas can. But then every now and then he's gonna come through a decent game. But you're probably on target there. All right, I like the Rangers tonight. I'm going to be loading up a lot of Rangers. You got to be different. You got to make a stand on course, I guess. This is just stupid the way DK's messing with these. Is the way DK's messing with these prices. See, two of my guys are starting, Kelly and Cobb. They're two of my favorites, and they're both going head-to-head tonight. So I might end up game stacking those two pitchers in some GPP somewhere. Just be different. I wouldn't be putting a lot of money on it, but they're two of my favorite pitchers in baseball, Kelly and Alice Cobb. I love that ground ball rate. Home run call. So non-cores. So if we're talking non-cores, who is my home run call of the slate? In some way, beside Schwarber, beside J. Ram, who is it? I am going to go with Adolis Garcia. Like him. Maybe we do play Cobb tonight, Sean. I didn't realize somebody said on Discord yesterday I was blowing up poor Zach Greinke. And Zach Greinke's got really crazy home away splits. I didn't realize Greinke was so good at home as he is. It's terrible on the road. So back to who did I say I like for my home run call? Adolis Garcia. And you guys, what do you guys like for home run calls? This Hall kid could hit one for Philly again. Jock could lose one against Kelly tonight. Isaac Pretty's, I think, is a good spot for home run. Javi Baez. Probably a really good spot against Lynch. 6 homers last 20 games. All right, so it's a weird slate. It's gonna be all Padres and Coors. Not many Rockies because of Manea, and guys respect Manea like I do. So maybe we stack the Rockies too. They're gonna be a lot lower owned than Padres. I mean, I'd say you got to make a Padres lineup because they could go off, but we hope for another 2-1, first game at Coors. Well, everybody's on them, and then maybe like the Rangers or the Royals or the Indians, one of those teams go off to be different. And maybe we play like the Phillies. I didn't mention the Phillies much, but the Phillies could fly right on the radar tonight. Schwarber's a good spot. JT's in a good spot. Something like that. I mentioned the Hall kid, who's really been hitting. And then another thing I've noticed too is always make a lineup against these big pitchers. Like I got Noah Scherzer. Scherzer, we know Scherzer can give up home runs. Make a lineup against Scherzer. Make up a lineup against Noah if you're multi-entering. Don't make that your main lineup. But one like yesterday, Lindolo was really popular, and so was Shane Baz, both of them. And so you make lineups against them. Baz got hit. So you got to think differently here nowadays. And I'm noticing DFS, you got to think different. Everybody's playing chalk, and chalk is not hitting. Chalk is not hit all weekend, really. All right. Good luck tonight. So I don't like the slate. We want to be different. I'm going to figure out how to be different. Tomorrow we're back to at least a good Tuesday night slate, but still cores. So we got to deal with it. And then the way I'm looking at it, I think you just play a little bit less than normally play. Just cores can hurt you. It can hurt you more than it can help you, the way I look at it. All right, guys, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for your comments. Once again, Nelson, great job there tonight. Nice hit. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Eric. Well, you guys will be back tomorrow. I'll try to have a guest on tomorrow, so I'm not by myself. And good luck, guys. We're out of here.